I got some new skincare. Most of it are stock ups because I've ran out, and some of it are new skincare that I have been meaning to try out. I've actually been very proud of myself for not buying any new skincare in the last, I would say, 6 to 7 months since last October. I've just been trying to stay consistent with my already existing skincare and to just like listen to my skin more. I think in the past year, my skin has gone through a lot. It took a while to kind of listen to my skin and know what it needs, and it does not need new skincare every time I have a problem with my skin. This is a new product that I've been meaning to try out. This is the Medicube PDRN Pink Peptide Serum. I think this has salmon spur. It's supposed to help with your complexion and kind of brightens up your skin and strengthen your skin barrier, which I need. And I'm just restocking my favorite sunscreen. I've talked about this before. I love this. This is, which one is the one I used? This is the one I normally use. This is the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen. This is the chemical version and this is the physical version, and I want to try the physical version out and see which one I like better. And then I got the Dr. Althea 345 Relief Cream. I've heard so much about this product and I was skeptical at first because I was like, it's way too hyped. But now I'm caving in and I'm gonna test it out. And next, I got this Mugwort Calming Cleanser. This is from a brand called Round Lab, and I use their soybean cleanser, and it does the job. It does the cleaning. I don't really expect too much from cleansers, so now I'm testing out the Mugwort cleanser and see which one I like better because I think my skin likes Mugwort as an ingredient. So we shall see. And then I also restocked on pimple patches because I always need these. So yeah, that is my skincare haul. Hello. It's been a couple days since I last filmed. I've just been very busy these past few weeks. I've read, I think, 5 books in the last few weeks, and now I will be talking about them. First book that I finished was Sunrise on the Reaping. I was really looking forward to reading this book because it's about Haymitch. It's about the second Quarter Quell, and I just want to know what that man went through, and he went through a lot. I could tell how sad the book will get because the Haymitch in the beginning of Sunrise of the Reaping is just so different to the Haymitch we meet in the Hunger Games. And I just knew that it was going to be a tragic, tragic story. And it was. He went through so much. My gosh. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it felt very familiar with Catching Fire specifically. Also, it was a little weird for me because there was just a lot of singing and music. I read the Hunger Games series a while ago, and I didn't read the President Snow book, so I was kind of shocked with just how much singing there was. Anyways, the next book that I finished was Butter by Asaka Yuzuki. So this book is about a journalist who wanted to find out more about this alleged murder suspect who was accused of killing 3 men. So this book is about the patriarchy and the misogyny in our world, but specifically in the Japanese society. It raises important questions like why is it socially acceptable for a man to neglect himself if he doesn't have a female presence in his life? Why is it a woman's job and responsibility to take care of a man? For example, in the book, the main character's parents got divorced when she was very young, and then her dad later died of a stroke. And this made the people around her and her mother kind of accuse the mom for, not staying with him, even though he was verbally abusive and violent. Like, had you not divorced him, he would have not died. And I also think that this book is a love letter to food and cooking. Our main character has some trauma regarding food, but then after having interviewed the murder suspect, who is a food blogger, she began rediscovering her love for eating and for cooking. She starts seeing the simple pleasure of cooking for herself and not really caring about what others think of her cooking. So if she likes what she cooks, then who cares what other people think? But I do feel like the story sometimes drags on a little too much. There were so many false starts to like a climax, and then it's just like stagnates. The next book I finished is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I was worried that this was an industry plant because it just blew up out of nowhere. It's about an ice dancer, Katerina Shaw, who she dedicated her whole life to the sport. And she's honestly a really badass character. She knows what she wants. She's always been honest that ice dance is her number one priority and she will do whatever it takes to be the best. This book reminds me of two Taylor Jenkins Reid's book, Daisy Jones and the Six, and Carrie Soto is back because of the writing style. Like there's an interview writing style which Daisy Jones and the Six had, and Carrie Soto is back because it's about a woman who wants to be the best in her sport. It's a very whirlwind kind of book. You just get pulled into it. There's so much happening, just like back to back to back. But the push and pull does get a little bit exhausting. Like there's just so many parts that felt glossed over, and there are other parts that were just talked about a lot more, but overall, it's a good time. The next book I read is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Yang. This is the second book in the series. The first book is called Out on a Limb, and I really enjoyed that one. That was a very solid romance book, in my opinion. And this one was good as well. I really am a sucker for second chance romance in the sense that they're already together, they're already a couple, but there's just some trouble in paradise, and they have to kind of relearn each other. And yeah, it was a fun time. The last book that I finished recently is Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. Guys, this is such a good book. I was immediately pulled into the writing. The first line of the book already had me in a chokehold. So the book started off with a character called William Waters, who had a really sad childhood because his sister passed away almost immediately after he was born. So his parents just clocked out of being parents and just did not care for his existence at all. And so he left for college on a basketball scholarship where he met a girl named Julia Padovano, who is the oldest of four sisters. And Julia comes from a very tight-knit family, especially the sisters. They're just seen as a unit, and the parents have their flaws, but overall, it's a very different family dynamic compared to what William grew up in. And so the story follows these two people's lives kind of merging. This book captures human emotions and human flaws, human lives so well. Everything just feels so completed, even though there are so many characters and you only hear from three of those characters' perspectives. There's so much depth, there's so much to unpack. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, stunningly well written book, and I really, really recommend it. Yeah, I think it might be one of the best books I've read ever. Anyway, so that's all the books that I've read in the past few weeks. So right now I'm reading After Parties. This is a short story collection by Anthony Visnaso. So far, all the stories I've read are about what it means to be Cambodian American, specifically children of war immigrants. So yeah, I'm halfway done and I want to finish this hopefully by the end of the week. I also started 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I'm only like a few pages in, so I can't say much, but I really look forward to reading more of this book because it's a classic. So yeah, I'll talk to you later.